Good evening. We want to raise a question that seems very hazardous and actually extremely challenging, yet we wanted to focus ourselves about what could be the image of Ljubljana. When you go to the website of Ljubljana, you actually see this kind of extraordinary, happy, yet very controversial question about the green capital. And it even states that it's the first and only green oasis in Central and Southeastern Europe. So green becomes a religion, or green becomes a statement ending into an advertisement issue. I think it's extremely important to question the green as a technical and statement revealing existing situations, more than just trust in something that is more or less invisible or unclear. But in that case of Ljubljana, there is an existing green. And this existing green is to approach something maybe larger than just the green. And for us, it was interesting to look at how the green can turn up into something more complicated than just green. Because green is what this is revealing from the current stage. And we question ourselves, how can you brand a city based on horses while you have dragons all around? So this is also interesting to look at the question of this picture, and I'll let you explain.
Again. So about text on light, we did hear before. So this happens if we will allow our water to corporates or our communications to corporates, if we will lose control over natural resources. This will be all.
So this photography is revealing a romanticism of Ljubljana. Well, the next step is showing a traditional real heritage, and this is the layer of modernity. What is fascinating is that it's kind of coinciding and working together, and in that sense, compared to other European cities, in my own experience, I see a very beautiful integrated architectural statement where heritage is not only about one period, but all social means and all social phases that architecture could carry. Yet, if you go in the suburb, you get this very weird eclecticism, almost unrealist collage of identities. And it's kind of scary to see that this architecture can happen, but at the same time, it questions the limits of democracy.
With this picture, we wanted to say how lively was Ljubljana at the time when there were local brands on top of a street, and also when the money was staying in Ljubljana. So today we can see this image, so we ask ourselves, what can we do to support the local economy and also to keep the money in the city? So according to the example, we see that like in the 80s, the example of a kiosk with a character based on the design according to maybe to the challenges of the time. So we ask ourselves, what would be the design of Ljubljana today? So is bicycle really the local design? And if it is, why is it done the same in other cities in Europe? And bicycles reminded us on following this story of the wheel. So we remember that on Ljubljana, Ljubljanska Vajre, there was discovered a wheel that is considered to be the oldest wheel in the world. And also, back in Yugoslavia, we had a successful rock factory producing bicycles. And this is an example of a bicycle of Mojca, and she said she still loves to use it today. Maybe you can say why.
Yes, I will say because my team believes that this picture needs urgently accompaniment of my voice. So, because maybe I am one of rare testimonies to say, rare testimonies which is still alive, to say that this bicycle is really of good quality. So I confirm this bicycle of Tovarna Rok, Ljubljana, are still the best quality of the world. I swear it.
So we are wondering, what are we going to do with Tovarna Rok? And can we find, like, based on our history, based on our heritage, a design that will recognize and represent the local identity?
So there is no specific science, but there is question of governments and how can you invent potential specific technical and practical committees involving different bodies to offer a constant thinking about promoting the essence of Ljubljana, so not ending into a kind of, let's say, green yet complicated, dangerous, uniformizing issues that all Europe and the world is currently facing, the same as architecture being global. So how to think white, not only green, and also to transform green into white, but also inventing a common sense of self-sufficient city by actually produce local energy, local food and products. It's quite safe to say it's possible, because everywhere it says it's green, so it might be possible. Then the actual economy to bring local knowledge and borrowing a global network, to brand new startup, but also to brand old startup, define an image of local product, for instance, getting back into potential designers related to furniture and other transportation means. So it's not only about using wood and transforming wood into a brand, but to actually inform and design with universities ways of local brand and local economy. And as an education to think global and to act local. So we end up with this story of the frogs because we think it's kind of still interesting, and we are still part of the cooking. Of course, it seems like in the 1991, the frog or anyone in the world here could be happy, and the older you get with the economy, the frog kind of grew up into a very healthy and nice, and it got really warm, so it's dangerous now, because it's heading into a potential green again. So we suspect it might be possible that from amateurs to experience to knowledge, you can create an image, and then you can escape. So that's what the image potentially thinking.